Welcome to another adventure with Barry and John. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you get to see other videos. This is a trip to Cape Henlopen and Lums Pond. The bike rides we took were long. This is a long video. I sped it up to cut it down. It's still a long video, but hope you enjoy it. And here we are at Cape Henlopen. We arrived in the afternoon. We set up our site, and we're about to have a little snack of sausage sandwiches for lunch. On the second day, we rode into Rehoboth Beach. Our route is on screen right now. We rode into Rehoboth Beach to get some crepes for breakfast. It was a great ride, nice scenery, but unfortunately when we got there, the crepe shop was closed due to being off-season and lack of help due to COVID. So unfortunately, we didn't get to eat our breakfast there. And right now we get on this nice little boardwalk up above the marshlands. And it was really a nice ride and quite a long boardwalk. And this is quite a busy trail. Lots of bicycles, people walking dogs. But it is a terrific trail to go on. I recommend it for walking. I recommend it for riding. And on with the show. I do want to make this one little announcement, though, that to let you know that throughout our bike rides, we did stop at all stop signs, yields. We were proper, but due to the fact that this being all sped up, it looks like we run stop signs and everything, which we didn't. We're finally out of the woods and heading back into civilization. Rehoboth Beach cannot be far now, which is good because my stomach is growling and I'm ready to eat. Too bad when we get there, the crepes place is closed. We're coming in the final stretch. We're headed down to the boardwalk. We're going to lock up the bikes where we will come back and find that John's back tire is flat. And fortunately, he gets it pumped up at a bike rental place and it's flat by the time we get to our friends. On the next day, we had another bike ride. Since John got a flat, our friend John took him to have the bike tire repaired. And then we hung out and did a few things and left our bikes at John's. So the next day he came over to the campground and we went and played some disc golf. And I'm sorry, I don't have any pictures from the disc golf course, which was quite interesting because it was in sand all the way, with a few trees in the way. But anyway, after hanging out all day and going for supper, we eventually headed back home to Cape Henlopen. And Google Map had us going on a road to an intersection which would have been quite busy, so I decided we'd go back towards Rehoboth Avenue and then up along Route 1 for a short distance. Although I found out by checking on trail links that we could have went in towards Rehoboth and picked up the Junction and Breakwater Trail, which is what we rode home to Cape Henlopen. And here's where we turned onto the Junction and Breakwater Trail. And unfortunately, at some spots, the video is a little dark because the sun was going down and we were going in and out of trees at spots. So some of the areas are rather dark, and I apologize for that. The ride itself was very smooth. It was mostly gravel until you get to a little of the high-end residential area where it became a macadam pad and even a concrete trail, and signs saying to stay off the property, stay on the trail. It would have been nice to stop here along the way and look at things, but we were trying to get home before the sun completely set, since one of us did not have a light on our bicycle and riding could be quite challenging. And from here on out, it was either a concrete or macadam pathway back to the campground, which made it for a really nice ride and basically very level. Right at this street, we should have went over into the left onto the road so we could go up over the bridge that goes over the canal. But we decided to ride down towards the canal and take a little rest there, and then we figured we would come back and go up. They're really nasty. They put fencing so you can't even go. They have chains. They try to block it as much as possible so you can't take shortcuts. But we rode down to the canal and took a little rest there for a few minutes. As we stood here looking, we realized there's a drawbridge up above, so if we went up along the road, we could cut over onto the drawbridge and wouldn't have this big hill of a bridge to go up over. And it worked really nice. It added a little extra to the ride, but wasn't bad. Of course, here I saw the sign that says walk bike on bridge, and I didn't think you were allowed to ride over, but you were allowed to ride your bike over, but if you were on the pavement, you had to walk your bike. We are now inside the state park and we are making our final approach up to the campground. It's been a wonderful ride. It was about a little over 9 miles ride because we made a little detour, and it's fairly flat except for one little part. Where the hell did this last hill come from to get up into the campground? It was a little tiring. Wasn't much, but it was unexpected. And we are back at our site and able to rest now. It was a wonderful day with a wonderful ride. It's time to head off to the beach and do a little surfing in the water. And as we arrive at the beach, we slowly make our way to set up our spot and test the water, which John and Ted both told me is very comfortable temperature, so we shall see. As you can see, it's rather late in the season because it is September and the beach is not crowded at all. It was very disappointing in the waves on the ocean. The waves were breaking very close to shore. You couldn't body surf if you wanted to. Water temperature wasn't bad. I mean, it is, second, third week September. It's been heated all summer from the sun, so quite comfortable.
I'm getting there, Ted. I'm getting there.
We are now at our second campground, Lums Pond in Bear, Delaware, and we have just finished setting up, and I decided to go for a ride to the canal. Since it is only a short distance away, I decided to check it out while John was checking out the other trails and seeing where the disc golf and the Go Ape adventures were. Well, it's a quick ride to the canal as soon as I get out of the campground, which could take me a while. All right, we have made our way out of the campground and we made a right and we're going to make the first left and we'll be on our way down to the canal. Remember this shot for later. And we've loaded up our backpacks and we're headed off for a bike ride around the lake to the disc golf course. There are a couple different trails that you can ride. We started with the little bit harder one, but it will eventually break away to an easier trail once we get over the boardwalk. And we are onto the boardwalk. I certainly wouldn't have minded this kind of path all the way to the disc golf course, but unfortunately not that lucky. But when we get off of this, we get onto one of the better trails for a while until we sort of make a wrong turn and then get on another mountain biking trail, really. Here we come off the boardwalk and we take the little connection trail and we're back onto what I believe is called the Little Jersey Trail, which is a much better trail than the Swamp Trail. The Swamp Trail is narrow, lots of roots, good for mountain biking, but both Ted and I are not that big of mountain bikers. Here John is taking a shot while playing some disc golf. There were about 2 holes that might have been out in the open field. The rest of the holes were more like this, in the middle of the woods, and very tricky shots, but it was a lot of fun. After 18 holes of disc golf, Ted and I started our ride back. I did not bother starting in the parking lot on the main road. I went to the trail where we would be heading back, which was a little better of a trail than we came out on because we actually came back on the Little Jersey Trail for the most part. Although I had to verify I was going the right way here because there's a map right here, so I checked that and decided I was headed the right way, so off we went. We eventually make it back to the turnoff, which puts us back on the swamp trail across the wooden boardwalk, and before you know it, we'll be back in the campground. After Ted and I returned home, John stayed over by the disc golf and he did Go Ape Adventures, which was a lot of obstacle course up in trees with zip lines. I would have loved to do the zip lines, but I wasn't so sure if I could handle all the obstacle courses. Although John told me there was a easier route than the one he took that I could have taken. But maybe next time we will be getting back there, I'm sure.
Walk across this? Gotcha.
Yes, I would have loved to do this. This zip lining is so much fun. Enjoyed it when we were out in Colorado, uh, but I didn't have to do an obstacle course out there. I just zipped from one spot to another. So would have been a lot easier if I could do that. I don't know. Watching John do this, there is some aspects that I think, yeah, I could possibly handle that. Now, this would be one that I definitely don't think I'd want to do. So I'd have to bypass this if possible, and I didn't know if it was possible. Because I don't know if I have the upper strength in my arms to hold me up to walk across this.
All right, is your GoPro ready?
It is.
Sweet. So I've got a few instructions for you before I send you on your way. Hold on to both these safety lines together for me with both hands. Keep your head and hands away from any of the metal at all times as you're swinging through. And then when you swing into the net, please bounce off of it once. You may grab on and begin your climb on your second contact.
All right.
So much for the bouncing off of the net once. They forgot to tell him not to put his feet through the holes.
You're alright, both your legs went through, but it didn't look like you bounced off too hard.
No, it didn't. I mean, it didn't hurt or anything. I was looking at that. I'm like, what do I do with my legs?
Yeah.
Because then I didn't want to come back out again.
Yeah, at that point, because. Alright.
Systemize on site 5. Once everything is A-OK, those guests who are in your stop feed and on your platforms are your last guests of the day.
Alright, you're back on the continuous system. Great swing, great
All right.
climb.
Thank you. Let's see, do it this way.
I had enough trouble in school with the 6-inch high balance beam. Could you imagine what it would be like on this one? John took a quick ride to the canal. He wanted to check out the marina where his cousin Linda would be able to dock her boat to pick us up next time we are there for a ride. And he decided to go by the trails and all that, and it just seemed like a very long ride compared to the way I went and came home, and he is going to come home the same way. But it was an interesting ride for him, especially at the spot where I stopped when I was riding before. I hope you enjoyed the last bike ride of our trip.
crazy. Ah.
Unfortunately, it becomes that time when we have to leave the campground and head home. And I am just waiting here for John to dump our trash when a nice new Tiffin bus rolled in. Ready here? Maybe I should have offered a trade. Anyway, as soon as John gets back in the RV, we will be heading out of here. I hope you enjoyed this little journey on our trip to Cape Henlopen and Lums Pond State Park. If you enjoyed it, I hope you will like, share, and subscribe to see other vacation videos. And I apologize for the length of this and for the jerkiness of the bicycle rides, but if I would have left the bicycle rides at normal speed, it would have been over a 3-hour video, and I probably couldn't even have got it up on YouTube. Have a great day. And we're off and headed home. See you next time. Roll the credits. And like to thank Barry, John, Ted, and John for appearing in this video.